Hi everyone, welcome to English Story School, where we embark on an exciting journey of learning English through captivating stories. Have you ever wondered what it's like to grow up speaking two languages? Imagine waking up in a world where each word, each phrase, is a bridge connecting you to two vibrant cultures. Growing up bilingual isn't just about language, it's a journey filled with rich experiences, unique challenges, and incredible stories. Let me take you on this adventure. From my earliest memories, my mornings began with the aroma of traditional dishes wafting through the kitchen, each recipe infused with the history of my family. My mother, speaking to me in one language, would often switch seamlessly to another when my grandmother joined us at the breakfast table. It was like living in two worlds at once, each conversation a dance, each word a thread, weaving together my identity. While my peers were learning the ABCs, I was mastering the nuances of two languages, discovering the beauty in both cultures. But it wasn't always easy. There were moments that challenged me deeply, and I remember one in particular that still makes my heart race. Picture this. I was standing in front of my class, palms sweaty and heart pounding, ready to give a presentation. I had rehearsed my speech countless times, practicing in front of the mirror and even in front of my family, switching effortlessly between languages. But when the moment came, everything changed. As I faced my classmates, the words seemed to evaporate, leaving me tongue-tied and staring blankly at my notes. My mind felt like a jumbled puzzle, where English and my other language collided in a chaotic mess. I desperately wanted to share my story, to express the emotions behind my experience, but all that came out were fragmented phrases that barely resembled coherent thoughts. It was a moment of sheer frustration, and I could see the puzzled looks on my classmates' faces, which only made me feel more isolated. That day, I learned a valuable lesson about resilience. I realized that being bilingual wasn't just about being able to speak two languages fluently. It was about navigating the expectations that came with each environment. In school, I was expected to articulate my thoughts in a way that made sense to everyone. At home, my family cherished our heritage, often switching languages mid-sentence, creating a rich tapestry of communication that felt both comforting and challenging. In social settings, I was caught in a dance of cultural references, trying to balance the humor and norms of both worlds. Each environment demanded a different version of me. In school, I had to shed some of the cultural nuances that came naturally at home, while at home, I sometimes felt the pressure to perform in my other language, even when it was easier to express myself in English. This constant shifting shaped my perspective in profound ways. I learned to be adaptable, to think on my feet, and to embrace the beauty of my multicultural identity. Through these experiences, I discovered that the struggle to articulate myself was not a limitation, but a part of my journey. It pushed me to find creative ways to communicate, to think deeply about what I wanted to say, and to connect with others on a more meaningful level. Every time I stumbled, I picked myself back up, determined to try again. I learned to celebrate small victories, whether it was successfully telling a joke in both languages or finally nailing a presentation without losing my place. As time went on, I began to see the richness in my bilingual experience. I realized that my ability to switch between languages opened up new avenues for connection. I could bridge gaps between friends from different backgrounds, sharing stories that resonated with everyone. This adaptability, forged in the fires of those early struggles, became a cornerstone of my identity. So while growing up bilingual came with its challenges, It also gifted me with resilience, adaptability, and a profound appreciation for the diverse world around me. Each struggle became a stepping stone toward understanding the complexities of communication and the beauty of blending two cultures into one unique narrative. As I grew, so did my appreciation for my heritage, a journey that unfolded beautifully during family gatherings, where the air buzzed with a delightful symphony of languages and traditions. Imagine a lively scene. The aroma of delicious, home-cooked meals wafting through the air, laughter bubbling over, and the sound of multiple languages blending together like a vibrant tapestry. It was in these moments that I began to realize just how special my background was. Every family gathering felt like a mini celebration of our shared history. We would gather around the table, a feast spread before us that reflected both of my cultures, each dish rich with flavors and stories. My aunts and uncles would animate the room, recounting tales from their childhoods, their voices rising and falling in passionate rhythms. As they spoke, I could hear the distinct cadences of our languages weaving through the air, creating a melody that felt both familiar and extraordinary. It was during these gatherings that I discovered language was so much more than just words strung together. Each phrase carried the essence of our family's journey, its struggles, joys, and traditions. My grandparents, with their weathered hands and wise eyes, often took center stage, sharing stories in their native tongue. Their voices had a certain cadence that captivated everyone, drawing us into the rich tapestry of our ancestry. Each tale was steeped in history, often laced with lessons learned and laughter shared, filling me with a profound sense of pride. I remember sitting cross-legged on the floor, eyes wide with wonder, as my grandmother recounted her own childhood experiences. She spoke of a time when life was simpler, yet filled with challenges that required resilience and creativity. Her words painted vivid pictures of her homeland, a place I had never seen, but felt I knew intimately through her stories. It was as if she were guiding me through a portal to another world, where the sights, sounds, and scents came alive in my imagination. As I listened, I began to understand the weight of what she was sharing. Each story was a piece of our family's legacy, connecting me to generations who had walked before me. I felt an overwhelming sense of belonging and a realization that these narratives were not just relics of the past. They were the foundation of my identity. They grounded me, giving me a deeper understanding of where I came from and the values that shaped my family. This growing appreciation for my heritage also prompted me to explore the traditions that accompanied our gatherings. I learned about the significance of certain rituals, the way we celebrated holidays, the songs we sang, and the dances that accompanied our festivities. Each tradition was a thread in the fabric of our family, tying us to our roots, while also inviting new generations to partake in the joy and richness of our culture. With each passing year, my connection to my heritage deepened. I began to take pride in being bilingual, realizing that I had a unique gift that allowed me to traverse two worlds. I could connect with my relatives in their native language, sharing not just words, but the emotions and cultural nuances that often get lost in translation. This ability opened up new dimensions of relationships with my family, allowing me to build stronger bonds and share in their experiences more intimately. Ultimately, these moments of connection transformed my understanding of my identity. The stories and traditions passed down through generations became more than just memories. They were living, breathing entities that I carried with me. They instilled in me a sense of responsibility to honor my heritage, to keep the stories alive and to pass them on to future generations. In embracing my roots, I not only grew to appreciate my heritage, but also learned the invaluable lesson that our identities are intricately woven with the stories and traditions of those who came before us. This journey enriched my life in ways I had never imagined, allowing me to celebrate the vibrant tapestry of cultures that defined who I am today. Navigating two cultures was like dancing on a tightrope, balancing between two worlds that often felt distinct yet intertwined. It meant embracing the delightful differences that came with being bilingual. And over time, I learned to celebrate the quirks that accompanied this unique identity. Picture me in school, surrounded by friends who spoke just one language. In the middle of a lively conversation, I would find myself mixing words and phrases, sometimes tossing in a foreign term that slipped out without warning. It was both exhilarating and, at times, embarrassing. I vividly remember one instance during a group project. I was passionately explaining my ideas, weaving in expressions from my other language. My friends looked at me with raised eyebrows, puzzled by my sudden switch. I could feel my cheeks flush as I tried to clarify, switching back to English while grappling with the challenge of making my thoughts clear. But instead of feeling isolated in that moment, I began to see the humor in it. I could laugh about the mix-ups and mispronunciations, turning moments of confusion into shared laughter. It was as if my bilingualism had become a bridge, connecting my experiences with theirs in unexpected ways. Learning to embrace these quirks became a fundamental part of my journey. The cultural references I would drop in conversation often left my friends scratching their heads, especially when I spoke about traditions or customs that were second nature to me. I remember mentioning a festival celebrated in my family, only to be met with blank stares. Instead of feeling discouraged, I took it as an opportunity to share. I found joy in explaining the significance behind the celebration, weaving stories about the food, music, and rituals that brought my family together. This not only educated my friends, but also deepened our connections, transforming their bewilderment into curiosity and understanding. As I navigated the complexities of my dual identity, I discovered a sense of belonging among those who understood this duality. I found solace in connecting with others who shared similar backgrounds, those who also experienced the delightful chaos of juggling languages and cultures. In these spaces, I felt free to be my authentic self, free from the need to conform to one specific identity. We shared our stories, laughing at our common experiences and supporting one another through the challenges of straddling two worlds. These connections reinforce the idea that our differences are not something to shy away from, but rather a source of strength that adds richness to our lives. Every time I encountered a situation that highlighted my unique background, I became more aware of the beauty in diversity. I learned that my bilingualism and bicultural experiences gave me a unique lens through which to view the world. I could approach problems from multiple perspectives, understanding nuances that others might overlook. This adaptability became my superpower, enabling me to connect with people from various walks of life and appreciate the mosaic of cultures around me. The journey of embracing my bilingual identity was not always smooth. There were moments of frustration and confusion. Yet each challenge I faced contributed to my growth. I learned to approach my identity with pride rather than apprehension. The mix of languages that sometimes tumbled out of my mouth became a symbol of my rich heritage, a badge of honor that represented the vibrant cultures that shaped who I am. Through this process, I realized that the ability to navigate two cultures was a gift. It empowered me to foster understanding and build bridges where there might otherwise be gaps. I could share my background with others, fostering empathy and connection. My journey became a testament to the strength found in our differences, showcasing how they can unite us rather than divide us. In embracing my bilingual identity, I ultimately discovered that it was not just about communicating in two languages. It was about celebrating the multifaceted nature of who I am. It taught me to honor my past while embracing the present, reminding me that every experience, every quirk, and every cultural reference was a thread in the beautiful tapestry of my life. Each step along this journey reinforced my belief that our unique stories make us who we are, and through understanding and acceptance, we can create a world that values diversity in all its forms. As I reflect on this incredible journey of growing up bilingual, I am struck by how profoundly it has shaped the person I am today. It's a journey that began in my childhood, where the sounds of two languages flowed through my home, creating a rich tapestry of communication and connection. At the heart of this experience is the realization that being bilingual has not only expanded my ability to express myself, but has also given me a broader worldview, one that appreciates the beauty in diversity and the nuances of cultural exchange. Growing up, my daily life was a vibrant mix of languages and traditions. I vividly remember the comforting sounds of my family speaking in our native language, with its melodic cadence and expressive tones. It was the soundtrack of my childhood, wrapping around me like a warm blanket. Simultaneously, I navigated the English language in school, where I learned to articulate my thoughts and ideas in a way that felt more structured and formal. This dual exposure taught me to see the world through different lenses, allowing me to understand that language is not just a means of communication, but a key to understanding cultures and experiences. With each passing year, I began to appreciate the depth of the relationships I could form because of my bilingualism. The ability to switch between languages granted me access to conversations and connections that might have otherwise been out of reach. I found myself engaging with relatives during family gatherings, sharing stories that bridged generational gaps and discovering the wealth of history and experience they carried. Each story enriched my understanding of who I am and where I came from, grounding me in my heritage while also expanding my horizons. Moreover, my bilingual ability opened doors beyond my immediate family. It allowed me to build friendships with people from diverse backgrounds. I recall meeting a new student in school who spoke Spanish. When I greeted her in her native language, her face lit up, and in that moment, a connection was forged. We began to share our cultures, swapping stories and traditions that made our lives unique. This exchange illuminated the power of language as a bridge, fostering connections that transcended mere words. It showed me that by speaking someone else's language, I was not just communicating, I was embracing their identity and experiences. As I ventured further into the world, the lessons I learned through my bilingual upbringing became even more significant. Traveling to different places, I found that my ability to converse in two languages allowed me to connect with locals in a deeper, more meaningful way. Whether ordering food at a small cafe or conversing with artisans in a bustling market, each interaction was a reminder of how language could open doors to new friendships and insights. I experienced firsthand the warmth that comes from being understood, and it reinforced my belief in the importance of cross-cultural communication. This journey has profoundly enriched my perspective on diversity, transforming the way I view the world and the people within it. Growing up in a bilingual environment was not just about mastering two languages. It was a deep dive into the rich cultural heritage and traditions that each language encapsulated. From an early age, I was surrounded by a dynamic interplay of words, customs, and perspectives that illuminated the vast spectrum of human experience. This exposure allowed me to appreciate not just the beauty of language itself, but also the vibrant array of cultural practices, beliefs, and values that differentiate us as individuals. In our household, conversations flowed freely between languages, creating a lively atmosphere where both cultures felt equally cherished. I remember family gatherings where traditional dishes from both sides of my heritage graced the table, each bite telling a story of its own. As we shared meals, my family members would recount tales from their youth, each story steeped in cultural significance. Listening to my grandmother speak of her childhood in her native language filled me with a sense of pride and curiosity. I learned that every phrase she used was a thread woven into the fabric of our family's history, linking me to generations past. Each encounter outside of my family added new layers to my understanding of diversity. At school, I found myself surrounded by classmates from various backgrounds, each bringing their own unique stories and perspectives. I vividly recall a project where we had to present about our cultural heritage. It was a beautiful moment of exchange, each student sharing their traditions, from Diwali celebrations to Lunar New Year feasts. As I listened, I felt the joy of discovery. I realized that while we might come from different cultures, the underlying themes of family, love, and resilience united us all. This realization deepened my appreciation for the complexity of human experience. Each shared story became a window into someone else's world, unveiling how our differences contribute to the vibrant tapestry of life. I began to see that diversity is not merely a collection of disparate elements, but a harmonious blend of colors, textures, and patterns that create a stunning masterpiece. Each person I encountered was like a unique brushstroke, adding depth and richness to the overall picture. The journey also challenged me to confront my own assumptions and biases. Engaging with diverse perspectives encouraged me to step outside my comfort zone, to question what I thought I knew, and to embrace a mindset of curiosity. I remember a pivotal moment during a cultural exchange program where I had the opportunity to interact with students from various countries. Initially, I approached these conversations with trepidation, worried about misunderstandings or miscommunications. However, as we shared our experiences and laughed at our linguistic fumbles, I discovered a profound sense of connection that transcended any barriers. This experience taught me that vulnerability can lead to understanding, and that the willingness to learn from one another is essential for fostering genuine relationships. As I navigated these diverse environments, I found that my bilingualism became a powerful tool for bridging gaps. When I could communicate in someone's native language, it often sparked a deeper connection, creating a sense of belonging that I had not anticipated. I recall a moment when I helped a classmate translate a letter to their family. The joy on their face as they received my help was a reminder of the power of language as a connector, allowing us to share in each other's lives in a more intimate way. This journey has illuminated the importance of embracing diversity as an asset rather than viewing it as a challenge. I learned that our differences can foster creativity and innovation, bringing together a multitude of ideas and perspectives to solve complex problems. I became more aware of how varied viewpoints can lead to richer discussions, more effective collaboration, and ultimately, better solutions. This understanding has inspired me to advocate for environments, be it in schools, workplaces, or community spaces, where inclusivity is prioritized and every voice is valued. In reflecting on my journey, I recognize that the beauty of diversity lies not only in the differences themselves, but in the shared humanity that connects us all. Each encounter, each shared story has taught me that embracing diversity enriches our lives and expands our understanding of what it means to be human. The vibrant tapestry of our existence is woven from the threads of countless experiences, each contributing to a larger narrative that celebrates our collective journey. Ultimately, this journey has equipped me with a deeper understanding of the world. It has transformed me into a lifelong learner, always eager to engage with others, to listen, and to celebrate the myriad of cultures that make our world so beautifully diverse. With every story shared and every connection made, I am reminded that we are all part of this intricate tapestry, each of us playing a vital role in creating a more compassionate and inclusive future. As I navigated through various cultural contexts, I learned to see beauty in the differences that set us apart. I recall a particularly memorable moment at a multicultural festival in my community. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as booths showcasing food, art, and traditions from around the world lined the streets. I watched in awe as people danced to rhythms that echoed from distant lands, tasted dishes that exploded with flavors I'd never experienced, and listened to stories that reflected the struggles and triumphs of diverse communities. In those moments, I realized that diversity isn't merely about differences. It's about the richness that those differences bring to our shared human experience. This epiphany ignited a passion within me to become an advocate for inclusivity. I began to celebrate the unique contributions of every individual I encountered, whether it was a friend from a different cultural background or a neighbor with a story to share. I understood that everyone has something valuable to offer, and it was essential to create spaces where all voices could be heard. This advocacy extended beyond my personal relationships. I sought to raise awareness in my school and community about the importance of embracing diversity. Organizing events that highlighted various cultures and encouraging dialogue became integral to my mission. In my role as an advocate, I also recognized the importance of listening. I learned that true inclusivity involves not only sharing one's own story, but also creating opportunities for others to share theirs. I made a conscious effort to engage in conversations with people from different backgrounds, eager to learn about their experiences and perspectives. Each dialogue was an enlightening journey, revealing how our beliefs and values shape our understanding of the world. I discovered that our differences often provide insights into solutions for common challenges, and embracing diverse viewpoints can lead to more innovative and compassionate approaches to problem solving. As my understanding of diversity deepened, I became more motivated to seek out diverse environments. I intentionally placed myself in situations where I could interact with people from all walks of life. Whether volunteering at local community centers, participating in cultural exchange programs, or simply striking up conversations with new acquaintances, I found that every interaction was an opportunity for growth. In these diverse settings, I felt the exhilarating energy of shared knowledge and experience. For instance, during a summer internship at a global organization, I worked alongside individuals from various countries. Each team member brought a unique perspective to our projects, enriched by their cultural backgrounds. Collaborating on initiatives that required us to think creatively highlighted the immense value of our diverse ideas. The team became a microcosm of what the world could be, united by a common goal, yet thriving on the strength of our differences. Through these experiences, I learned that the more we embrace our differences, the more we can learn from one another. This understanding became a guiding principle in my life, shaping my interactions and my aspirations. It encouraged me to approach the world with an open heart and an open mind, ready to celebrate the beauty of our varied backgrounds while fostering a spirit of unity and understanding. My journey has taught me that diversity is not merely an abstract concept. It is the lifeblood of our societies, infusing them with vibrancy and richness. It has empowered me to advocate for a world where inclusivity is the norm, where everyone feels valued and heard. I am committed to creating environments, both in my personal life and in the broader community, where differences are not just acknowledged but celebrated. As I continue to navigate this journey, I carry with me a profound respect for the tapestry of humanity. Each thread, each unique individual, contributes to the greater whole, and it is in the intersection of these threads that we find strength, resilience, and beauty. Embracing diversity has not only enriched my own life, but has also inspired me to foster connections that transcend boundaries, continually learning and growing in the process. The journey toward understanding and celebrating our differences is one that I am dedicated to pursuing, knowing that it ultimately leads to a more inclusive, compassionate world for all. In reflecting on this journey, I recognize that my bilingualism is a source of strength. It has equipped me with the tools to navigate various social and cultural landscapes, allowing me to adapt and thrive in diverse settings. The ability to communicate across cultures has fostered connections that I cherish deeply, connections that have shaped my identity and expanded my horizons. Each conversation, each shared story has left an indelible mark on my soul. I have come to understand that being bilingual is not just about the words I speak. It's about the connections I forge, the empathy I cultivate, and the understanding I nurture. This journey has taught me that the world is a beautifully intricate place, filled with stories waiting to be discovered and voices eager to be heard. As I move forward in life, I carry with me the richness of my bilingual experience, a constant reminder that communication has the power to unite us, to break down barriers, and to foster a sense of belonging in an ever-changing world. My bilingual journey has not only shaped who I am, it has ignited a passion within me to continue exploring, connecting, and celebrating the diversity that makes our world so wonderfully unique. So, whether you're on your own bilingual journey or simply curious about the experience, remember that this path is filled with richness and growth. It's not just about mastering languages, it's about embracing the tapestry of experiences that come with it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.